There comes a point in every man's life, quiet, unannounced, when something deep inside quietly breaks. It doesn't come crashing in with alarms or dramatic confrontations. There's no caught in direct betrayal, no dishes flung across the room. Just one small, offhand comment, and in that instant, the ground quietly shifts. For me, it happened on a Saturday evening at a party I hadn't even wanted to attend. Claire had insisted, said we should make an appearance at Mira's birthday. Mira, her colleague, someone I barely knew. Loud, overbearing, always smiling too hard. Claire spent nearly an hour getting ready. Half that time she critiqued what I was wearing like she'd been appointed judge at some fashion tribunal. "That shirt makes you look responsible," she remarked, voice dripping with sarcasm. Looking back, that should have been the first clue. Subtle, almost playful, but sharp enough to leave a mark if you were paying attention. The party was bedlam. People packed in tight, shoulder to shoulder, a chaotic blur of too loud music, clinking glasses, and private jokes I wasn't in on. The laughter came too easily, too often, forced, exaggerated. The kind people use to hide discomfort or to excuse another round of drinks. The whole room buzzed like a synthetic joy machine, sweet perfume and noise spinning in dizzy circles. Then Mira, glassy-eyed and clearly several drinks in, flashed a mischievous smile and slurred, "Let's play truth or dare." We groaned, performatively, but no one said no. Alcohol has a way of lowering everyone's standards. I played along, smiling for Claire's sake, though the whole thing made me feel like we'd regress into teenage nonsense. Then Mira's eyes landed on Claire, her voice rising above the bass as she pointed and declared dramatically, "Truth, if you could swap Gavin for anyone else, who would it be?" The group howled. They expected something flirty, a teasing jab. I smiled too, automatically. But in the beat of silence that followed, I felt it, the atmosphere shift. Claire flashed a wide, exaggerated grin, flicked her hair over one shoulder, and replied, bright as ever, "Trade? Easy. Elias from spin class. He actually listens." The laughter that followed was explosive. Someone knocked over a drink. Mira nearly fell over from laughing. Claire tossed me a wink, like it was all in jest. And I laughed too, but mine was empty, a brittle, hollow sound that didn't feel like it belonged to me. The kind of laugh you use as camouflage to cover the bruise of humiliation, to hold your pride together with thin thread. But in that moment, something inside gave way. The rest of the party passed in a haze. Claire kept drinking, kept joking, and right on cue, as if the universe wanted to press deeper, Elias walked in. Claire lit up. Her whole face changed, a brightness I hadn't seen in years blooming instantly. She moved toward him instinctively, like a flame toward oxygen. And I stood there, clutching a drink I didn't want, realizing I was slowly becoming a side character in the narrative of my own life. The drive home was soundless. No arguments, no accusations, just a quiet unraveling of two people going in different directions. My hands gripped the steering wheel. Her eyes stayed glued to her phone. She hummed to herself like the night had been forgettable. Once inside, she slipped off her heels and made her way to the kitchen like nothing had happened. "You're mad," she called over her shoulder, twisting the cap off a water bottle. "I'm not angry," I said quietly. "I'm just trying to figure out when I became the joke." She laughed, sharp, short. "Wow, bitter much? It was a game. Don't turn this into some melodrama." "You picked Elias. It was a joke. Did you mean it?" That gave her pause. Her expression tightened, a flicker of frustration flashing in her eyes. "Seriously, Gavin, you're twisting this into something it's not. Are you talking to him?" I asked. There was a beat of hesitation, barely noticeable, but it was there. And then, sharper, "And what if I am? Would you even care? You haven't really seen me in months. You don't talk to me unless it's about bills or errands." I stepped in closer. "You're right. I didn't notice, not until tonight." She slammed the water bottle onto the counter with a dull thud. "We're stuck, okay? Every couple hits rough patches." "This isn't a rough patch," I said, softer now. "This is you trying to slip out the back door." She didn't reply, just started busying herself with meaningless things, straightening the mail, nudging a vase that was already scented. I didn't say anything else. I just turned and went upstairs. She never joined me in bed that night. And in the morning, her side was cold. That's when I knew we weren't just struggling. We were done. Days passed. We lived like polite ghosts, orbiting around grocery lists and shared calendars, the remnants of our marriage running on autopilot. Then Thursday came. I got home earlier than usual. Her phone was sitting on the counter. The screen lit up. Had a great time today. Miss you already. Elias. That was all it took. No scandalous evidence. No photos. Just truth, simple and undeniable. She walked in moments later, adjusting an earring. Froze when she saw me and the phone between us. "What are you doing?" she asked. I slid it toward her. Waited. She crossed her arms. "You're blowing this way out of proportion." Friends usually don't end lunch dates with, "Miss you already." She stared me down. "Yes, Gavin, I had lunch with Elias. Because he listens. Because he sees me." I leaned back. "Then maybe you should go where you feel seen." Her face twisted. Hurt, anger, disbelief all crashing into one. "You'd throw all of this away over a couple texts." I shook my head. "No, you did at the moment you stopped choosing me." She stormed out. No apology, just fury in heels. The door slammed so hard a photo frame rattled on the wall. But the strange part? I slept better that night than I had in months. When she returned the next day and found her belongings packed neatly into boxes, she lost it. "You don't get to shove my life into cardboard." "You left," I replied calmly. "I'm just helping you follow through." She looked at me like she didn't recognize who I was anymore. "We can fix this." "You don't fix what's been abandoned." Weeks went by. The silence that used to feel like punishment became a kind of peace. A rhythm formed, quiet, unburdened. I found pieces of myself in the stillness she used to fill with sighs and passive critiques. Then one evening, there she was, sitting on the porch steps, eyes red, mascara smeared. "Please, Gavin, don't do this." I kept walking. "You're leaving over one mistake." I turned to face her. It wasn't just one. It was all of it. The silence, the digs, the way you looked at him like I wasn't even there. Tears slid down her cheeks. And for a fleeting second, I saw the woman I once married. But only for that second. I handed her the divorce papers. "This isn't who you are," she whispered. I looked at her, steady, certain. "Maybe not, but this isn't us anymore either." She didn't argue, just stood. And this time, when she walked away, I let her go. There's a strange clarity that follows endings. The air gets thinner. Time feels cleaner. I started breathing again, not just existing, but really breathing. Claire kept messaging. "I miss you. Please." But by then, I didn't miss her back. And one day, I deleted her number. Not out of anger, just peace. Because sometimes, all it takes is a single sentence, a careless laugh thrown into the noise of a crowded room, to show you what's been broken all along. And once you see it, truly see it, there's only one question left. How far are you willing to go to become who you were meant to be?